Hello, welcome back to Peace Storm. I am Pluvius Lilon, and today we're playing Danganronpa 2. Now, when we last left off, Nagito is dead. And we're pretty sure Sonia did it. I mean, like, nobody has an alibi, but Sonia has, like, even less of an alibi than everyone else. There she is right now. Look at her, like, all smug, thinking she got away with it. No, I'm on to you. So, let's begin the investigation. I guess the first thing we should check is this Monokuma plushie that's bleeding? Hey.
No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding. I'm not dead.
Is this one of those life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory?
If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you.
You're a stuffed animal, too.
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What are you calling oversized garbage?
Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and then going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did you try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
That had nothing to do with that.
Huh?
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monomi, but you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily too, you know.
I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end. I will definitely take back the seat of the world's supremacy from Monokuma.
Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. But we'll turn it into a truth bullet anyway. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic bottles are scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. What if instead of... yeah. What if instead of grenades to put out fires, they were grenades to start fires? Incendiary grenades, as they were. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence isn't really all that strange. Yeah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here... Ah, an oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm. It's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire. Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them. So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it? The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. They caused a fire to destroy evidence? It's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to their crime scene, but... yeah, I guess we really don't know how much of this was Nagito's doing and how much was the killer's doing. What do you have to say for yourself, Sonia? If only everyone could go home, nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way? It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling? Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire. You can see a girder right next to it, right? There. Can you see that red streak? Huh? No, but I see a pink streak. Looks like a small pink line on the ceiling girder. Is that blood? Blood? The color definitely looks like the blood in this world, at least, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's gonna happen? Huh? What's gonna happen? This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go back home. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen? Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends. What do you mean, something? He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that? I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know. And don't bring up strange stuff like that. It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's, but it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter? The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now it's 12:30 p.m. It also has a clock function. And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh. Seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the same time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon. Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. But this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare. Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. What else is there to investigate? Oh, I guess the body. I never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No, now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. Yeah. No, I think, like, okay. For those of you who are mythology buffs, Nagito's a lot like Loki in a couple ways. Including his death. Like, you know, Loki's ultimate fate was to be chained up to a rock, much like this. Except he wasn't, you know, impaled and stabbed and whatnot. And he did get free right before Ragnarok. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Well, okay, so he was stabbed and flogged. What the hell? Tied up. I don't know what to investigate first. I guess we'll start with the spear. The most likely thing that killed him. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange-looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. Use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy, and deliver the final blow with the spear.
Is this your first time looking at this too?
Of course not. This is the Spear of Gungnir, right?
Yep. Okay, that seals it. It was a deliberate reference. Not. I believe Nagito was a deliberate, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? I want to say pastiche, but that's probably not right. But basically, he was based on Loki. That seals it. The Spear of Gungnir was Odin's weapon. Okay, it was just called Gungnir, not the Spear of Gungnir, but still. You definitely came up with that just now.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where'd that spear come from?
I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What? Nezumi Castle? I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice. Damn you all to hell.
I see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. This spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. About the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. Yeah, I think the cord was wrapped around that girder that has blood on it. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this one looks like a slice. A slice of pizza! Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere. There's something strange. Strange? What? Look at the palm of his left hand. I think that blood is from where his left arm was sliced, but... doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand... here there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. You're right. Why is it only on this part? See, it's just as I it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Yeah, sure, you win. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make blood splatter like this? So maybe he was holding onto the cord. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. Military base? Now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife. By the way, seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means, after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand? And then they finished him with the spear? How cruel. Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why'd they need to use a spear at all? That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? Maybe it was maybe there was a fight. Nagito had the spear originally, and the killer took the spear from him for the final blow. I don't feel like Nagito would fight back, though, if someone tried to kill him. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be the result of that fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Feet. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito? They also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that? At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture? I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor? Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge toward Nagito. Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Okay, I think that's everything. What? What else is there? Oh, his face. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help? It's bold of you to assume he would have screamed for help. Jeez, what a troubled look on his face. The blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off of his mouth. Hey, what are you doing? That'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I'm done investigating here. Putting the tape back on isn't the issue, you ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed. The blood on Nagito's face looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. That's the case. It's no use. She's not listening. Hey, about the blood splatter on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape. What's wrong with that? This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue, too. I should remember it. I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. Bro, Kyoko would have a fucking field day with this body. She'd be getting all up in that. Now I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I supposed to find... Am I used to something abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate the other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. There are a lot of tipped-over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall... they should have been neatly put away. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess. Huh? Look, the tipped-over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is... It's fine. I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Huh? It's not opening. There's something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be... was that it? And there's something else I've been wondering. These Monokuma panels were tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line's the only one that's neat and orderly. Isn't this clearly strange? Strange. That means we can speculate this was done intentionally. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is this here? Looks like that weird music was playing from there. You know, that music was blaring, or, you know, that music that was blaring when the fire started? Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. That music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? Okay, I think... oh. All these CDs, they're all copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. The sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Huh, what haven't I investigated? Do I need to talk to everyone again? Looks like this side's completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Even if there was an important clue here, we might not be able to notice it. But it's better than the warehouse burning to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out the fire. But there was a lot of smoke. It's a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing the grenades.
I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy. Miss Sonia's all wet. She's all drenched and soggy. That's you, Kazuichi. That's what you sound like. You were thinking that, huh? Kazuichi?
I wasn't thinking that at all.
Why are you responding, Kazuichi? I was asking Hajime.
You're screwing with me.
Oh my, screwing? How lewd!
Please don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined it for a second. Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already. Like, forever. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Well, even though I did say I was gonna friggin' kill him, there's no way I would have actually done it. I was just upset, you know? Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I need to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey Sonia, do you have a minute?
Yes, what is it?
I wanted to talk to you about that fake bomb Nagito set when the warehouse exploded. Wait, talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded. There we go.
Huh?
Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right?
It is all right. It is not a bomb.
Why'd you know the bombs were fake?
Well...
That's not all, either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my? Do you suspect me?
You're goddamn right.
It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Jesus, shit! You son of a bitch!
Sonia?
I am terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain it to you. Why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I had discovered a vast amount of bombs there.
Huh?
At first, I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So, I kept silent the whole time.
Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
As I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found.
And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought from the military base were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs.
How'd you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake?
Because I attempted to use one of them.
What?
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. At the time, I still believed the bombs were real, and I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin. However, that plan was an utter failure. The bomb was not real, it was merely a fireworks display. God damn it all to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake. I see Monomi peeking out of the corner there.
I did. As did Monomi as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. If those bombs were the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. Which is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it.
Kazuichi's just like, whee!
But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well. If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reason for doing it. With this, I've explained everything. There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. Alright, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there's still so many things I don't understand yet.
You look worried.
Yeah, I am.
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range.
You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? She might be right. There's several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him.
I'm pretty sure the others have already finished investigating. Hey guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too?
In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her. I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. Seems we have the same idea. But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here. I guess you're right. Also, looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. So, we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we just have to give up completely.
You don't really need to say that. Then it's okay if we leave this place?
It's okay!
There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around.
I guess we'll investigate the factory next. Man, it feels like just yesterday that we were here, trying to put out those bombs that didn't exist.
I have never seen so many Monokumas in my life.
Well, Monokuma isn't exactly someone you would normally run into.
However, while I was staring at all these Monokumas, a thought occurred to me. The bomb that went off at the lobby might have been set up there, or it might have been set up here. Huh? If you hide the bomb inside a Monokuma plushie, it would make a frightening weapon. Do you not think that the group is forcing us to kill each other? Do you not think that the group that is forcing us to kill each other would devise something like that? A plushie bomb is an act of terrorism. Let us rip these apart right away so we can confirm it. Hold on. If there was a bomb inside these, wouldn't it explode if we carelessly mess with it? Either way, it is all gravy. All gravy? What the hell does that mean? Stop! There's no bomb! You know if you just pick me up, see? All you'll feel is the soft weight of cotton. You're right. Then where did Nagito obtain the bomb he used? I wonder. If I'm gonna give you guys a hint, then you should know it wasn't from the military base. To tell you the truth, the bombs there are all fakes. I know that already. You should have said so earlier. Well, I thought if I kept it quiet, I could foreshadow that a killing was gonna happen. That's why I'm just now telling you for the first time. Whew, I feel relieved. But if the bomb wasn't from the military base or this factory, then he brought it from the Octagon. I must say, you have a good eye there, Sonia. Putting a bomb inside one of my plushies seems like a splendid idea. Let's try it. Did I say something I should not have said?
It's not your fault. Don't worry about it.
The life-size Monokuma plushies are crammed inside an enormous basket, but it looks like there aren't any other clues here. That reminds me, when we saw Nagito's video messages on this laptop... Is he still watching us from somewhere? If he's not, then how did he time his message so perfectly?
No, looks like the video was set to play after the explosion by a wireless signal from the detonator. But why do you have to use a video message? That's the one thing I don't get.
At that time, Nagito should have already been killed, which means that video was recorded in advance. That's right. Besides that video, there might be data on his laptop that could be used as a clue. With that thought in mind, I tried messing around with the laptop, but it's no use. It's locked. There's no way I can examine this. But if it's locked, then maybe there really is something inside. Maybe I'm overthinking this.
Well, that just adds to my theory that he was planning to die. Maybe not in the way that he did, but he was planning to die.
That's an enormous machine, but it stopped for now. Looks like there's nothing related to the incident here. Apparently the bombs that were stuffed on this truck were actually fireworks. Which reminds me, this truck looks like it came from the military base. Nagito must have brought it from there. Other than that, there's nothing in particular that catches my eye. The break room is on the other side of this door. This is where we obtained the fire grenades. Anything inside? There's nothing on the floor that looks like a clue. Not even trash.
Alright. So that does it for the factory. Yeah. Let's leave the factory. And then head to the military base. See what Kazuichi has to say. Dang it, this dangerous place is all the reason... This dangerous place is the reason all this messed up stuff is happening. Leaving guns out in the open is totally dangerous. Seriously, they gotta take better care of these.
It's easy to say that, but there's no one on this island who can do that. It's that dreadful helicopter, the one that executed Teru Teru. Doesn't have anything to do with the incident. If the bombs were fake, this might be fake too. But I'm not brave enough to check for myself. Huge supply of guns and other firearms are stuffed into the truck bed.
Ah, found it.
What'd you find?
Well, that truck bed over there has guns in it, but I also found stuff like a
survival knife? Wait, that's... Isn't that the same type of knife that was stabbed through Nagito's right hand?
Which means the killer obtained that knife here. So the killer's someone who visited this military base at least once.
That's everyone, though.
No, not me. This is the first time I've been here.
That sounds fishy. When I tried looking through the truck bed, it's empty. Nothing's here. When I first came here, there was something on the truck bed, which means Sonia was telling the truth. And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. But did Nagito know the bombs weren't real? It's possible that he thought they were the real thing. No, never mind. He said as such in his video message. So, were you surprised? Seriously, think about it. Do you really think there are enough bombs to blow up an entire island? Even if there were, a guy like me would never be able to use them. He knew the bombs were fake. He only did what he did to weed out the traitor. No. Is that really it? Did Nagito only do that to expose the traitor? Maybe there is a different motive behind his actions. Alright, so that takes care of the 5th island. Guess next we'll investigate Nezumi Castle. Oh, that's the wrong island. Oh yeah. Let's check up on our pet. Wow. Still no despair. Look at that wall of spears. I guess it's obvious where the weapon came from. Oh, sure enough, looks like there's a spear missing. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is hanging from the wall. This spear is definitely it, right? Just as I thought. Looks exactly like the spear that killed Nagito. The same whip-like cord is attached to the handle, and there's a weight on the end of it. Plus, it looks like one of the spears on the wall is missing. There's no mistaking it. The killer took one of the spears and used it as a weapon. Spear of Gungnir, huh? Monokuma would totally come up with a lame name like that. But why'd the killer use a spear and a knife? Yeah, they could have just killed him with the knife and it would have been easier too. There's no way a spear like this, with this unnecessary cord thing on it, would be easy to use. Yeah, it definitely looks hard to wield. But still, they chose the spear for a reason. What could that reason be? I feel a little tired. No matter how much I investigate, I don't feel any closer to the truth. It's probably why I feel this way. I'm feeling this strange feeling that I've never felt before. As if Nagito is trying to make us suffer even after he's died. Well, now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. I haven't even investigated his cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. If we investigate that place, we might be able to find some kind of clue. Alright, let's go. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, this is part 4. Yeah, we are currently on part 41, which is when the final trial of the previous game started. Dun dun dun! Alright, yeah, first island. That's where everything is. Yeah. The hotel. Oh, yes, cottages are this way. Okay, those are the girls' cottages. Oh, it's like Chiaki is talking to Monokuma about something. Ah, Hajime. Oh my, you want to go inside Nagito's room too? That was just listening to Chiaki's request. She wants me to unlock the door into Nagito's cottage because she really needs it for the class trial. She begged me to do it while she was licking my black eye.
I didn't do that.
Then do it. It's sweet because it's made out of black bean paste.
Hey, we don't have time to mess around. Hurry up and unlock the damn door.
Fine, fine. I guess I have no choice. I just gotta do that, right? Now then. Vavavaloos! See, I've opened up the door. You can freely investigate now.
This isn't my first time seeing that, but why does the door open with a spell like that? Maybe the cottage key is computerized. More importantly, let's go inside now that the door's open. Yeah, you're right. So, Nagito was living here. What was he thinking inside this room? What was he feeling as he spent his days in here? I can't even imagine. Wanting to see absolute hope, becoming despair so he could act as a stepping stone for the rest of us. No matter how much I think about it, I just don't understand him at all. I don't even know if he truly believed that. He was especially weird these past few days. What changed him? Maybe the clue to that might be hidden here as well. In that very conspicuous glowing pink box. I see a Monokuma. A fancy-looking treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights is totally standing out. Could this be...
Can you let me know if you find my treasure? It's a magnificent treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights.
A treasure box. Chiaki, you know about this? It's really cute. Oh, she was just reacting. This looks like Monomi's stolen treasure box. If this is here, that means the thief Monomi was talking about was Nagito. But why would Nagito steal this? In order to find out, it might be good to see what's inside. Is it gonna be okay? It looks a little dangerous. It might be, but this could be some kind of clue, you know? If this wasn't important, Nagito wouldn't have stolen it from Monomi in the first place. I turned back toward the treasure box and cautiously opened the lid. Inside, there was a notebook. This is it? Why is a notebook hidden inside this treasure box like it's something important? I took the notebook out of the treasure box and began leafing through it. It contained sloppy drawings as if they were drawn by children, and entries that looked like chicken scratch.
Day 1. I was able to talk to everyone for the first time today. Monokuma showed up and turned things bad. Day 2. Byakuya is the leader. A lot of things happened today, so everyone's tired.
What is this? A diary? Looks like it. Did Monomi write these? Probably. These pictures and entries totally suit her. I kept flipping through the pages. Day 3, Day 4, Day 5. Page after page of poorly written entries continued on in the notebook. I don't really understand, but it looks like there aren't any clues here. Right when I was about to give up, my hand suddenly stopped on an entry titled Day 16.
Day 16. We've been in a funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go in the final dead room today. He's probably panicking because no one believes him.
Huh? Hajime, did something happen? Oh, it's nothing.
Hey, stop! Don't look at my notebook!
Whoa! From out of nowhere, Monomi suddenly appeared and took the notebook out of my hand.
Whew. I did ask you to look for my treasure box, but I never said you were allowed to peek inside. Geez, that was close. If I'd come any later, he would have seen the inside of the notebook.
Unfortunately, you were a little too late.
But if this notebook is here, then Nagito was the thief? Betrayal! I was betrayed by my beloved student!
Hey, that notebook, it's pretty much your diary, right?
Diary? It seems that way. That's right. This is my important diary where all my maiden secrets are written.
Hey, you're a liar.
You always show up out of nowhere.
Monomi, it's not good to lie, you know.
Lie?
There's no way you wrote in that notebook. After all, Monomi can't even write.
Huh?
What are you saying? Jeez, I can write letters easily. I can finally write the letter B.
No, you can't, because you have no fingers on your hands.
Ah!
See? Bullseye. I know, because I'm the same way, too. Huh? Are you mad? You angry that I exposed a weakling like you?
So that's what this is about. You're seriously trying to crush me?
What are you saying? There's no way a big brother would ever crush his little sister.
It looks like the time to settle things between us is getting closer every second.
Hey, I don't know why you're getting so serious, but is what Monokuma said true?
Huh?
He said you didn't write in that notebook. Is that true? If so, who wrote in it?
Well, you know, it's, how should I put it? Excuse me.
Hold on. Damn it, she totally ran away again. Same pattern as usual. Looks like it's a waste of time to try and get answers from her. But still, I really wanted to ask her about that notebook. Well, actually, it might be better if I didn't ask her. Yeah, I think the traitor wrote that notebook, because the traitor must be controlling Monomi, right? A fancy-looking treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights. Apparently it was stolen from Monomi's house. If this is here, that means Nagito is the one who stole this from Monomi. But why would Nagito steal this? Did he want the notebook that was inside? But Monomi didn't write in that notebook, so who did? No, that notebook doesn't matter right now. Our time for investigating is winding down. The bookshelf might take some time to investigate, so we should try examining some other areas first. It's the bed that comes with the cottages. Looks just like the one in my room, but maybe there's something hidden under the bed. It's the usual place for hiding things. Yeah, like porn. Well, we should still check just in case. With no expectations and without thinking, I peeked under the bed and there's something here. It's a plastic bag from the supermarket. Looks like there's something inside. What is this? Looks like a gas mask and rubber gloves. These look like the real deal. Did you get these from the military base? A gas mask and rubber gloves. Like how they're just like photorealistic. Like it's clear they just like took a photo of an actual, like they grabbed a photo of an actual gas mask and gloves, probably from like Google or something. It's like just like slapped a Gaussian blur over it. Was he hiding these under his bed? Or he was hiding these under his bed. What did Nagito use this stuff for? Hajime, was there anything else under the bed? Let's see. I peeked under the bed once again and started looking around the area where I found the supermarket bag, and there's a small piece of paper on the floor. A piece of paper made of blue aluminum? A round, thin piece of aluminum, huh? It's similar to those seals that go over jars of unopened mayonnaise. I get what you're saying, but does that mean this is just a piece of trash? Who knows? It might be too soon to decide that. Alright, what else? Yeah, let's see if he hid anything in his fridge. There's a refrigerator. Nice. My cottage doesn't even have a refrigerator. Wonder where he got it from. Nagito probably supplied it himself. Why did he go to the trouble of putting a refrigerator in his room? Does he really enjoy cold drinks? As I talked to Chiaki, I opened the refrigerator out of curiosity. There isn't really much inside. The only thing inside the refrigerator was a brown bottle. Monokuma's special poison, for poisoning use only. For someone who likes cold drinks, it doesn't look like he stocked very much. But that bottle clearly isn't a drink, right? Really? Looks like some kind of dietary supplement to me. Protein powder, maybe. I took the brown bottle out of the fridge and started reading the label. Exclusively made for poisoning someone to death? Hey, this is... Yeah, looks like it's poison. Poison? Looks like there's a warning label on the back. Let's examine it in a little more detail. But be careful with that bottle. Don't drop it. Stop it. If you worry like that, I'm going to get nervous. I grabbed the bottle with my trembling hand and began reading the warning label on the back of the bottle. Poison made specifically for killing someone. It's Monokuma's special poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it's heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes, and it's susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container, away from sunlight. This sure does look like a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. This refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure. But where did Nagito get something like this? That question could apply to the bomb he used at the hotel, too. Apply to the bomb? There should be a reason Nagito was able to obtain such dangerous items. The octagon inside the funhouse. This poison, he must have brought it with him from there too, right? He was probably hiding them somewhere on his body during the last class trial. He was hiding a bomb and poison during the class trial? Jeez, how dangerous. What would he have done if he accidentally tripped and broke the bottle? Just thinking about it scares me. Also, he already blew up the bomb he took with him at the lobby. But what about this poison? Huh? Looks like the bottle's less than half empty. Was it like this from the beginning? Or did Nagito use it? If so, where did he use it? I wonder, is there still a trap somewhere that hasn't been sprung yet? Another trap? For example, maybe he was making some kind of trap using this poison before he died. If that actually exists, it'd be real bad. It could potentially kill everyone on this island. Everyone on the island? What the hell? Nagito, are you seriously trying to make us suffer? Are you still trying to make us suffer even after you've died? There are lots of books and other mysterious items stuffed on the shelf. The genres and types of items are all so random, I can't make any sense of them whatsoever. They say a shelf is a mirror that reflects a person's heart. Do they now? I definitely don't know much about Nagito just by looking at this. So what should we do? It'd be really difficult to look through all these piles. That doesn't mean we should ignore it, though. I'll leave it to you then, Hajime. Wait, what? It's better if a boy goes through another boy's things. You know, there might be private stuff there. Well, that might be true, but... So I'll leave this shelf to you. I think I just got persuaded to do this without realizing it. I sighed and walked toward the shelf. One by one, I started removing the various books and items, examining each one. But even as I examined them carefully, they were still a bunch of random books and items. There's no way there are any clues here. Huh? Well, that file Oh, that's Nagito. Well, that file wasn't the only one I received through Monokuma. I don't know why it's saying Hajime when Nagito is clearly the one speaking. Unless they're the same person. This is another one. That seal. Indeed. It's the school badge of Hope's Peak Academy. Does that have information about our stolen memories? Unfortunately, I couldn't find any clues about that. This file doesn't contain our information, just Hajime's information. Nagito said this only contained information about me, but is that really true? If I look at this, it should be obvious, right? And he said I was from the reserve department and had no talent whatsoever. That might be another one of his lies, too. I opened the file I held in my hand to confirm that. He said, You have no talent, you big stupid hole." Instantly, I realized something was strange. If this really has only my information, then why is this file so thick? As soon as I opened it, it was clear to me. Just as I thought, Nagito had lied to me. Aside from my information, there was information about the others. Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, and Sonia, and everyone who died had pages of information about them, too. The file contained information on all 16 of us. Only my information, my ass. I can't believe he'd make up such a strange lie. Then he turns the page and there's like, a whole page is literally just a picture of his ass. So that means the rest of it might be a lie, too. I turned to the page containing my information and began to read through the content. The profile contained basic information such as my date of birth, my height and weight, and so forth. But there was one thing that specifically caught my eye. The words Reserve Corps student. There was no denying it. It confirmed that I truly was a Reserve Corps student from the Reserve Department. Why is this the only thing that isn't a lie? Why am I the only one here who's from the Reserve Department? Why am I here with all the other Ultimates? Hajime, did something happen? Well, I just found a strange file. Ah. Isn't that the special prize Nagito received when he cleared the final dead room? As I recall, your student profile should be in there. It's not just my profile. The profiles of everyone on this island are in here, too. Nagito was lying. When you say everyone, you mean everyone? Yeah, it's just basic information, but there should be profiles for all 16 of us. Can I take a look at that file? Chiaki leaned against me and peered into the file. You're right. My profile's really in here. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details. Details? Details about our missing memories. Information about the time we spent at Hope's Peak Academy. If it's not written in there, these profiles might have been written before we entered the Academy. Then it's impossible to obtain new clues from them. Yeah, seems like it. Hold on. What happened? I just noticed it right now, but... This file, his name isn't in there, right? There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles, but his name is the only one missing, right? Who are you talking about? Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami. Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere.
So what if a name isn't written in that file? Perhaps, based on that, you think he might be the traitor?
No, it's not just because his name isn't written in here. That's not the only reason I think he's suspicious. He participated in the killing school life at Hope Speak Academy, right? For someone like him to be in a similar situation on this island, no matter what, it's definitely suspicious.
Well, it pains me to say this, but what you're saying about the missing name and about the killing school life, it's totally wrong. There's a completely different reason.
A different reason?
How should I put this? You guys have been getting all worked up about that Byakuya for no reason. Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. You're basing it on one person's cheap speculation.
What do you mean?
You don't have to ask me that. You'd know the answer just by looking through those profiles, right?
Huh? My eyes turned back to the file. One by one, I started flipping through the pages and confirming the names. And suddenly, I came across a page that was filled with question marks. Every section was filled with question marks. It could barely be considered a student profile. On that page, I was only able to confirm one thing. Ultimate imposter?
That's pretty sus, isn't it?
Sus.
He was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny Byakuya Togami.
A fake?
The fact that his profile's filled with question marks isn't a mistake or an oversight. Surprisingly enough, that's the correct information regarding him. The ultimate imposter has no name, no permanent address, and even his age and gender is unknown. Basically, he doesn't exist. Because he doesn't exist, he's able to exist as anybody. That's his talent. Well, I'm not jealous of that at all.
That person wasn't really Byakuya Togami? Oh, so Byakuya is actually still alive, maybe. Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life?
His physique doesn't affect his ability to fool others at all. Real imposters are skilled like that.
Then he was lying to us the whole time? But he couldn't help it. What? Why couldn't he help it? 'Cause that was his talent.
Huh?
Well, having talent means you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain talent, your way of life has already been chosen for you. You can't do anything except rely on that talent, regardless of whether you want that life or not.
In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life might be a bit more liberating.
What the hell?
Anyway, I'm not happy you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with. So I'll tell you straight up, this revelation about Byakuya is actually the truth.
Then, what was he trying to say to me at that time? I cannot talk to others about my past. I suspect that my skeptical nature is partly to blame. Distrusting others, and being distrusted in turn. For a long time, my life has been a living hell.
Based on the context, if I had to guess, maybe he was just complaining that he was cursed to wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud. But if you guys had your school memories, you never would have been betrayed in the first place. I mean, it'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time. But since you guys went to Hope Speak Academy, you should have known about the ultimate imposter already.
So in the end, that it all leads back to memory loss.
Geez, the Future Foundation sure is awful. There's no way you should ignore Monomi or the traitor.
Who is it? Who's the traitor? Just from looking at these 16 profiles, I still wouldn't know who's from the Future Foundation. Is there really someone like that?
Well, obviously you wouldn't know. I made that file so you guys couldn't find out.
So it's just as I thought. You're the one who did it.
The fact that there are 16 profiles in there is what's wrong. I mean, the traitor's a spy sent by the Future Foundation, not a student from Hope Speak Academy.
You made a fake profile for the traitor and included it in here?
It wouldn't be fun if you figured out who the traitor was so easily, right?
Then we can't use this file to figure out who the traitor is. That was true for Nagito too, right?
Well, probably. It's dripping with despair, isn't it? You wasted your precious time on something that isn't a clue. Was that a wise decision? Time's up, you know.
Time's up. Wait.
Excuse me for a moment.
That chime just now.
What is most important for living things? Well, personally, I think time is. I mean, your bank account may go up and down, but time will inevitably run out, right? That's why we gotta cherish time. There's nothing more wasteful than wasting time. So, time's up. We'll begin the last class trial, so please gather at Monokuma Rock. I'll see you soon.
The last class trial? He said that, right? He said last class trial. Yeah, I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial. What do you think? Should we believe him? Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right? 2 more days? He said something about the killing school trip ending, right? Based on the time limit, this might definitely be the last one. But I can't imagine that it's the real end. Huh? I think Monokuma's real plan might be just beyond that. His real plan? Is Monokuma still planning to make us do something? What could it be? Maybe after putting us through all this, he's planning to kill the remaining survivors all at once? But still, it's also not a good idea to think about it too much, I think. I think we should focus on the class trial that's waiting for us first. You're right. A class trial for Nagito's murder. We're pretty screwed. I haven't collected my thoughts because we were so focused on this file. I still can't see who killed Nagito. Well, you don't have to worry so much. Huh? I mean, we're not fighting this alone, you know? You're right. You're absolutely right. We're not alone. Even if it's a mystery that can't be solved alone, as long as everyone cooperates and works together. Yeah, if we do that, things will turn out fine. Alright. So here we are, in front of Monokuma Rock. Looks like everyone's here. Huh? Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people? Nah, dude, everyone's dead. You're making me depressed! So, it is going to happen again. The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends. But once we're through with this, we can go back, right? That Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial. But we've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily. Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do all this is the one saying it, you know? That's why I'll definitely survive. If we can really go home after we deal with this class trial, I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. What the fuck? Why are you here?
You haven't realized it yet? That feeling of wanting to leave this island. Thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know?
Huh? What are you saying?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. He's planning something far worse.
Stop trying to jinx us.
Damn right. Stupid rabbits should just shut up.
Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair.
Huh?
I finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight.
What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before.
Maybe she read a self-help book.
But her eyes, she looked so determined.
What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be real annoying if you started talking during the trial.
Fine.
Somehow I understand what Monomi is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial. You're right. We need to fight as much as we can. No matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end. This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma Rock. This elevator ride, this will be the last time for us too, right? I hope so. They're lined up like bowling pins. Let's worry about things after we're finished. More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is gonna go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. But even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand up and fight. We must fight. And then, the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair?
Well then, now that chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Enough! Just fucking start this already! Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep, it sure is. So, you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end.
Now then, let's get this trial started. This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other.
This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Komaeda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope would never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there were also times when he saved us, too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way we can end this without knowing. We'll become consumed by despair.
That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito, the killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. Alright, let's save. Equip that skill that Fuyuhiko gave us. Yeah, we definitely have enough SP for it. Oh, reduces damage when you miss. That'll come in handy if I'm if I have to resort to just guessing everything again. And we'll save again for good measure. I think. What the fuck? Ah! Alright, I guess, yeah, we'll just start the trial and then immediately save.
Now then, let's begin with a simple story about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.